Basic Gamer 7 and welcome back to another Create a Sim video. This of course is a part of the Pokemon Sim CAS series, and as you probably already can tell and already have noticed, this is Greninja's Create a Sim. So I will say, when it comes to Greninja, he's not I know he's a really popular Pokemon actually out there, but in terms for me, he never was one that I've really gotten to really personally but if you know my history with Pokemon, there was a gap where I stopped really playing or watching Pokemon at all, and then I got back into it in later in years. So Greninja's not really one that I'm familiar with except for through Smash Brothers. When he popped up onto Smash Brothers, I was like, oh, who's this Pokemon? Where did he come from? Alright. So, I've never really been too fond of him. I don't hate him or anything, it's nothing like that, but I was never too fond of him. So when he was picked as one of the votes, it didn't surprise me. But I was like, okay, so now I gotta try to make him. How am I gonna do this? But I will say, he probably is one of the ones that is up there towards the top of how he turned out. He's definitely not one of the favorites, but he's pretty high up there with how he eventually turned out, and I actually really did like how he turned out. Now, does the sim look like a frog creature Pokemon? No, I don't think it looks like a frog creature Pokemon anyway, but I think there's some key characteristics that sort of got kept in some degree. With Greninja, of course, his main color is that dark blue. He's got some creams. He's got a light blue and this pink tongue scarf thing. The pink tongue scarf thing was one of the things that always was sort of the weird things about Greninja to me. Uh, and it was also one of the things that going into this Create a Sim, I was like, how in the world am I gonna represent a pink tongue scarf thing? I do have one little scarf type thing that I can give to guys and females, but when I put it on him, I didn't think it looked right. I didn't totally like it, and I just decided that I wasn't going with it. So I ended up giving him these earring gauge type things that sort of looked like they had curves to them, and it was the exact color pink that I wanted it to be. So that's what I gave him in the end to sort of represent that. It doesn't represent it highly, but it's one of the characteristics on Greninja that sort of is the weirdest to me, so I'm okay that I didn't fully represent that out. But as far as his hair, again, if you've watched a few of them, I mentioned how I ended up doing quite a few Sims that ended up being had blues in them or was water related, so it got hard in some cases to do the blues and stuff like that because I didn't want to repeat too many things, and I definitely didn't want to repeat them in the same color. I did to give him blue hair, and the blue that I gave him was more representative. If you see the back of his head, he has this light blue on the back of his head. That was more representative of that light blue, while I used the clothing to represent the dark blue. And then the cream colors on him is more representative of what I tried to use his skin. Looking back at it now, I wish I would have went even paler with the skin, because I don't think it represents the cream color as much as I was meaning it to. But, oh well, what is done is done. Nah. And I don't remember if I keep that necklace on him, because I don't think I do, because the shirt that I decided to go with actually is a turtleneck type shirt, so it goes up on his neck, and of course, sometimes you can have necklaces and stuff with those type of shirts and it look fine, and some cases it doesn't, so I think I do take it off. But the reason why I went with the shirt that I went, was partially because I was going with the whole aspect of Greninja is this frog ninja creature basically, and as with when you think of ninja, you think of moving quickly and moving fast, and usually a lot of clothing attached just flowing loosely isn't gonna allow for quick steady movements and quiet movements, because the clothing for one can make noise if it's moving around too much, and also it would slow you down by catching air and catching turbulence and whatever it's, you know, all that's called. So that was my reasoning behind the shirt. Also, there wasn't many dark blue options. There's the scarf thing that I was thinking about, and then I was like, oh, I don't know, I just don't really like it. I don't like it at all. So, but yeah, so that's why I chose this shirt, and I actually really like it on him as well. So, and part of the point behind this series is not only to try to represent the Pokemon in like a human sim form as best possible, but also to try to make them actually look like good sims and like good creations. So it's trying to get that balance of looking and representing the Pokemon, but also looking like a good creation. So, you know, that was the reason that, you know, that was all the reasons behind the clothing. So I didn't try to get any clothing that was, like, looked like it was too baggy or too loose, and I'm pretty sure I went with blue pants as well. I don't remember if they're the exact blue of the shirt. I don't think they are. I think they're technically, like, a blue jean material, but they have some, like, a type of wash on them, or like they're supposed to represent a type of jean wash, and it looks very blue for the most part, and I think it gets a little lighter around the knees, which is fine, because if you look at Greninja, he's got white little things on his knees where his joints are. I also thought, like, over in the end, it just looked like more of a better choice, fashion choice wise, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I don't remember what, I think I gave him, like, just sandals or something on his feet, just because I thought that represented Greninja a little bit better than, like, any other shoe. I don't really know why. That was just my mindset, maybe because it's the closest to not wearing shoes, and I imagine that he could be a sim that would not care to actually wear shoes some of the times. And you could just kick those flip-flops off a lot faster than you can tennis shoes if you really just needed to go in a high sprint run. I've actually done that before, like, just playing around with friends and stuff like that. If I'm somewhere where my feet will not get badly damaged by being directly on the ground or whatever we're running on, I just threw my shoes off and took off. So, yeah. Anyway, but I hope you've liked this video and this episode. If so, hit that lovely like button and subscribe to see future episodes of Create a Sims from the Pokemon series and others as well, and just other videos in general. Let me know what you think about Greninja. I actually do like how he turned out. Again, he's not like one of the top faves, but he's definitely up there. But anyway, so all of my Sims 4 playlists and my social media will be down in the description as well. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!